All right, here we are. I've got your guys' questions. I haven't actually pre-planned them at all. I haven't wrote answers. I'm just going to read them off and whatever comes out, comes out. So don't shoot me, please. How do I start this? I'll just start, yeah? I'll just get straight into it. My name's Stephen McDowell, aka the Buzzy Kiwi. I am from the south of New Zealand, a small town called Invercargill, the very bottom of the world, literally the bottom of the world. What did you do when you first finished school? I went to university and I studied sport and exercise science. I finished my degree. I then became a personal trainer with the intention of becoming a professional coach. And then unfortunately I had a rugby injury which caused one hip surgery, and then that hip surgery went wrong, so I had to do a second hip surgery which didn't go to plan, and it left me unable to work or exercise at all for 8 months. So I had to stop. I couldn't do it anymore. That's how I led into the life I'm in right now. Did you have a job before you started traveling the world? Yes, I mentioned that I was a personal trainer. That's how I saved the bulk of my money when I started to travel. I've been a pizza delivery boy, I've bagged horse manure, I've worked in aluminium smelters, tractor driver, carrot packer. I've been a labourer, I've cleaned gutters, I mowed lawns. I've done everything. We didn't have a lot growing up. I'm the youngest of 4 to a single mother, and we're from the bottom of the world with a very low economy compared to the majority of New Zealand. I definitely wouldn't say that I grew up in poverty. I had a very loving mother and she did everything she could to give us the best possible opportunities in life. But I sure as hell didn't grow up with money either. Like, it was tough. I've been working since I was 13. I haven't taken money from my mum since I was about the same age. It's been me funding me for half my life now. How did you decide to drop everything and travel the world? After my second hip surgery, I wasn't able to work in my job that I just studied 4 years at university to do. So I had to make a choice. Do I stay here and rebuild, or do I go somewhere else? And I realized I need to travel the world right now while I still can, because I don't know what's going to happen down the line. I don't know if I'm going to be able to move. I don't know if I'm going to be alive. So I'm going to do this now. Right now, because I have the opportunity. So I packed everything up and I left. Was it hard to leave everything you know, your home, family and routine? Yeah, it's hard to leave your family, of course. Routine, not so much. It's actually amazing being outside of routine. It's amazing traveling the world and new experiences coming without my control. It's how I learn more. How do you get over the fear of being alone? I'm never alone, like ever. It's really hard to be alone in this world. People pay a lot of money to be alone. And what I mean by that is there's always people around, always. And I'm an open enough person that I will talk with others, I'll conversate with others, and I never feel alone. And by being that way, I've been able to travel the world and meet lots of new friends, and those friends end up becoming like family, and I go and stay with them. I definitely get that feeling before I leave New Zealand, like, oh man, I'm going out into the world, like it's daunting, I'm going to be by myself. But that very fast diminishes as soon as I get overseas and realize, oh wow, it's just the same. There's people here too, and people like to talk with other people. People are living everywhere around the world. So yes, cultures are different, but at the same time, it's all exactly the same. We're all trying to find companionship, feed ourselves, have some fun, have shelter and safety, and reproduce. Like, that's pretty much the meaning of life. Are you proud of yourself? I've definitely done some things in my life, in my earlier life, that I'm not very proud of. I wasn't always the way I am today, and I apologize to anyone that I've ever hurt, ever, or done wrong to. I was a kid. I was literally a kid with lots of problems. So right here, right now, for anyone that I've ever done wrong to, ever hurt, I'm sorry. I truly, truly am sorry. I hope you can understand that I didn't know any better. I'm sorry. But am I proud of myself now? Yeah, definitely. I am trying to help others at any opportunity I get. I'm trying to spread a positive message. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? I would love to have my own show, my own documentary, my own ability to tell stories. That's what I'm doing this for. That's what I want. I am a storyteller. I'm an entertainer. I love to bring people along with me and educate people. So ideally in 10 years time, that's what I'll be doing, but on a much larger scale. As a kid, what did you want to do when you got older? I wanted to be a pilot, but I found out that I was colorblind, so that was kind of destroyed. And then I know I wanted to be a professional athlete, but we all know how that ended up. What inspires you? People inspire me. When someone's been their absolute best version of themselves, when they're killing life, that inspires me. I love to see people at their best. It makes me want to be my best. Or people that are just ruthlessly themselves. What scares you the most? Sharks. It used to be the ocean in general because sharks lived in the ocean, but ever since my sister was attacked by a shark when I was 6 years old, I was the first one to see her come out of the water, and it's just been ingrained in my brain, this fear, this uncontrollable fear. And until I was 20 years old, I didn't get back into the water. Then it was a long process to get back into the water, and that's why it's such a big feat. When you see me out and see photos of me in the water and you're like, oh, cool photo, that's huge for me, like huge. If I went up to my knees or my waist, I would get an anxiety attack when I was 20 years old. So I'm still haven't faced my fear of the sharks, and that's coming next. What's your goal in life? To help as many people as I possibly can, and I truly mean that. It's been one of the main reasons that I started social media. I knew that the larger audience I had, the more people I'm going to be able to help. I am trying my hardest to use this platform as a way to spread positivity and spread change. So that's my goal. I'm going to stick by it. Join the journey with me. How do you earn money? That's the big one a lot of people want to know. Right now, I earn money as a freelance photographer and videographer. Before that, I told you all the ways I've made money through my jobs, and it's not hard in the modern world to make money as a contractor or a freelancer. It's very possible. The internet has changed everything. All right, travel related questions. How do you afford to fund your travels? I worked a lot of jobs. I saved a lot of money. I sold 2 cars, I sold my bed, my TV, everything I owned, and I packed it all into one bag. And with all of that money, it was about 20,000 New Zealand dollars. I then traveled the world for about 2.5 years. And then throughout that journey, I offset my living costs by getting free accommodation in exchange for helping people. How do you find another country or city to live in where you can support yourself? Here's the trick to travel. People are living all over the world. They're living, therefore they're working to get by. So why do you think you can't work to get by anywhere in the world? Of course you can. It's just a thought in your head that you can't, that, oh, I can only make money and I can only make a life here where I'm from, where I know. No, you can work and live anywhere in the world because other people are doing it too. What has been your largest inspiration to travel? I'd say that was Thailand, my first ever trip. I got there and my mind exploded because all of a sudden I'm surrounded by so many people just like me in their early 20s, wanting to travel, wanting to explore, trying to find themselves. It was truly beautiful, and it made me realize, holy shit, this is a thing. People are doing this all over the world, backpacking and meeting each other and just exploring life. This is what I was born to do, and it was like this is what I'm gonna do now. What countries have you traveled to? Wow, I haven't counted these in a while. Australia, Samoa, Thailand, Cambodia, Indonesia, America, Canada, Mexico, UK, Ireland, France, Italy, Germany, Netherlands, Croatia, Hungary, Spain, Portugal, Iceland, Puerto Rico. I think that's everything. What are your thoughts on careers and how they impact travel ability? In the modern world, you're able to work remotely a lot. It's very common. So if travel is something you really want to do, then you need to migrate your career path into something that you're going to be able to do remotely. Are careers worth it? Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Is a career necessary in your early 20s or even in your 20s in general? Not really, in my opinion. At the end of the day, you're going to be working your whole entire life. And when you're 55 years old working in that business firm, you're going to be working with people who are 45 and people that are 65, and it's not going to matter. So in my opinion, I want to use my 20s to really enjoy life. Fuck, light just went dead. That's dramatic though. All right, we're back. We lost light for a second. Where were we? Do you plan your travels far in advance? I plan the big parts of my travel in advance, like a flight to Europe or a flight to America. Once I've arrived, I leave my plans very broad and very open because I want the opportunity to be able to morph to anything I want depending on what I experience or who I meet. There's been so many times where I've been going in this direction and I've met some people and I've been going in that direction. And That's how I've been able to live the life I currently live, because I don't tie myself down with plans, especially booking in advance. Never book in advance. How do you decide on a destination? A lot of the times it's when an opportunity arises. So if I meet someone and they invite me to stay with them, or if I have friends going somewhere, or someone has a van and they invite me along, or someone has a boat, anything, I just go with the flow. What is your favorite country, city or place you've ever been to? The whole Canary Islands in general is amazing and untouched. It's the secret that no one's going to tell you. But Gran Canaria specifically, it's always going to have a place in my heart. What's your dream destination and why? Well, it changes all the time. It was Hawaii for a while, but I just took that one off. And now it's Peru for many reasons. One, I want to learn my Spanish fluently. Two, I want to go on my soul journey. And three, it's just a diverse, beautiful country with so much history that's untouched. Where to travel if you're on a budget? Southeast Asia and India, hands down, the cheapest by a long shot. And also a huge traveling culture. You'll find thousands and thousands of young travelers from all around the world. Your money goes 10 times further, and I genuinely mean that, 10 times further in Southeast Asia than it does in Europe. How to travel on a budget? It's really easy actually. You just don't spend money on anything that's not a necessity. Necessities are food, water, shelter, travel. That's it. Anything outside of that is an expense that you don't need. So partying, alcohol, eating out food, going on tours and activities, all of these things are unnecessary. If you have the money, cool, do them. If you don't, go on a free hike. Don't eat out, always cook your own food. Every single place you travel to has a supermarket, which the locals are buying food and surviving and getting by, so you can do the same thing. If you want to travel to have the luxury life, then traveling on a budget's not for you. If you want to travel as your life, then you will find a way to sacrifice everything you possibly need to be able to afford to do it. Social media related questions. How did you get started in this lifestyle? How did I do it? I was backpacking the world for about 2 years, and in that time I started taking photos and videos of the different places I went. I then put together a compilation video and put it out onto the internet, and it really took off. It allowed me to gain a following on social media, which I then just continued to post photos of my travels, and it grew from there. And it just kept growing until I am where I am today. Yeah, it was just a lot of consistency and a lot of traveling. I've been traveling for 4 years now. It's been a long time, and that's allowed me to take lots of photos all around the world, which helps when you're trying to build a social media. How did you learn how to video edit? YouTube, 100% everything YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube these days. It's unbelievable. I'm teaching you how to travel on YouTube. What camera do you use? A Sony A7R II, which I'm shooting on right now. I'm a Sony man. Great all-round cameras, compact and small, which helps with travel. I know Canon's got the best look, but I'm not gonna carry around a box with me. How did you get to where you are today? I grinded, I got lucky, and I was good to people. And I've been trying my hardest to help others. And I feel like you watching this and others feel that too. And that's allowed me to build a following based around raw and authentic connection rather than the facades that are rampant on social media. So people connect with what I'm doing because this is who I am. What you see is what I am. I am right now just speaking into a camera in a room. There's no script, I'm just talking, being me. And I think social media needs that because it can change the world. Social media can change the world. Enough of that anyway. Do you have a job, or do you consider maintaining this account a full-time job? This is definitely full-time. Do I make full-time money? Hell no. I am scraping by, but it takes all day, every day to do everything that I do. The Instagram, the photos, stories, the caption, the editing, the shooting, the filming, the travel. It's all very, very time consuming. And everyone's like, oh, it's so amazing that you get to travel for your job. Like anyone that travels a lot for their job understands how difficult it really is. Like airports suck, long flights suck, hotels suck, sleeping on couches suck, buses suck. It's not all rainbows and butterflies, believe me. It's really not. You get to see the amazing glitz and glamour, 20% of it. You don't see all behind the camera. Tips and advice. What is the key to happiness? Stop caring what other people think of you. That's it. That is where so much of your anxiety, your fears, your problems come from, is caring what the rest of the world thinks, even though they mean nothing. So how do you deal with anxiety? That's a good question. I'm still working on that. This life definitely is anxiety provoking, that's for sure. There's no stability, there's no security, and I get anxious all the time. How I deal with it, I've been doing breathing exercises, doing lots of yoga, workout almost every day. Sometimes though, honest truth, I can't get out of bed. I have long showers. I can't function and can't do work. I definitely get overwhelmed with anxiety, for sure. I think any conscious mind does. How do you keep motivated when life gets you down? It's hard, especially this year. It's been super hard. I got robbed twice this year and one of my best friends passed away. How do you keep motivated when life gets you down? I remember how lucky I am to have the life that I have, to be able to travel the world. There's so much to be grateful for, and my travels have really shown me that. People have the standard of their life they assume it should be, when in reality 90% of the world probably lives below that current standard. Just be grateful that you have electricity, that you have flushing toilets, that you have clothes on your back, food in the fridge. You have a device to watch this video on. There's lots to be grateful for, and you've just got to remind yourself of those things when you're really getting down. How do you keep being so positive? People close to me probably wouldn't think I'm that positive. No, I genuinely am, but I do get down. I definitely get overwhelmed, get upset, get passionate. So it's an everyday process to keep positive, to fight that inner voice in your head that's conflicting with your soul, otherwise known as your ego. It's a constant battle, constant, and you just keep working at it. How do you meet people? I talk to people. That's the key. When you use this, you open that mouth, magic can happen. I tell you what, I have met the most interesting, beautiful people in the world, all because I just started a conversation. If you wait for it to come to you, if you wait for people to come to you, it's not gonna work. You need to go out to people. How to choose, travel or study and start a career. It's completely up to you, but my personal opinion would be, I don't understand why people are in such a rush. You're gonna be working for the rest of your life, but you're not gonna be in your early 20s for the rest of your life. So right now, I'm gonna travel while I'm young. You can start a career any time in your life, but you can't travel the world in your 20s any time in your life. And that's that. I hope that's helped give some insight onto who I am as a person, and also give you some information on how you can travel the world too and create a life like I have. If you have any other questions, go over to my Instagram, send me a message. If you want more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, see you later. Keep being Buzzy.